Hi, my name is Jing Lu. I'm the director of Marana Water. I would like to personally invite you to our open house on May 29th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Marana PD conference room. At the open house, you will hear presentations about behind-the-scenes services from leaders of major water utility providers in the town of Marana and learn the recent achievements at Marana Water. You will also have direct conversations with water experts on any subjects that you are interested in. Come join us and make a splash.
This summer, we are thrilled to unveil a series of 5 captivating outdoor recreation programs, each shining a spotlight on the remarkable plants and animals that inhabit El Rio's riparian oasis. Immerse yourself in the enchanting worlds of birds, bats, dragonflies, lizards, and even enjoy a beautiful nature walk. Join us on a journey of exploration, learning, and appreciation for the wonders of nature at El Rio Preserve this summer. For more information, visit maranaaz.gov/recreation.
Welcome to Real Talk with the Town, where I sit down with the Marana staff to answer your burning questions about our beautiful community. My name is Terry Rozema, and I'm the town manager for the town, so let's get started. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Real Talk with the Town. My name is Terry, and I am your host, and today we have in the studio a regular guest, Jason Angell. Jason, welcome back to the studio.
Thanks, Terry. I appreciate it. Always fun to talk about development.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. Of course, that's your area of expertise and your area of responsibility. I was struggling a little bit to come up with an icebreaker. I don't know if you got anything you can help me out with.
Well, I got one for you. So just recently, you had a birthday milestone that came up. And
thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, all the family, all the kids, grandkids were back in town.
Yeah.
How was it? How long?
Awesome time. It was great to have them all under one roof. Yeah, I'll tell you a story. My kids got me something special, and out by the pool, and all of a sudden I see the whole herd of them coming down, the 5 kids, the grandkids, and they've all got their hands behind their back, and I'm like, oh, this isn't good. And my oldest son says, hey, Dad, we all pitched in and we got you something really special. Now, keep in mind, way back when the kids were little, they're 35 down to 22 now. When they were little, we used to have these whipped cream fights. I'd go and get like 10, 15, cans of whipped cream, and we'd go in the backyard and just hammer each other with whipped cream, right? So I see him coming, and I'm like, oh, this is not good, man. And I didn't know what it was. I have to admit, I'm like, this is not going to be, I know they're going to do something. And all of a sudden, they broke out with the whipped cream cans, and they just surrounded me and covered me from head to toe. I looked like a snowman or something. I was just full of whipped cream, and they had a blast. My little grandkids, the youngest ones, 8 and 4, they were just giggling and laughing as they're spraying me, and I just stood there and I took it. And when I was done, I looked at myself and I thought, well, go in the pool. Yep. So I jumped in the pool, and as I'm in the air, and you know how high I can jump. Oh, yeah. So I was in the air for a long time.
Yeah, hang time.
Yeah. And about halfway down, I hear my oldest son go, phones!
Oh, gosh.
I realized both my phones were in my back pockets, man. So I tried to reach them before I hit the water, but I didn't make it. So it came out. Well, a little commercial here for iPhone. The iPhone survived, but my Android did not. So did get a new phone out of the deal. The work phone survived. So
this podcast brought to you by iPhone.
By iPhone.
There we go.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, we're not here to talk about birthdays, iPhones, or whipped cream fights. We are here to talk about development. Yeah. Specifically, we got a question, and people are very excited, of course, about the Fry's shopping center. And I drove past it yesterday. It looks like they're doing a great job, really coming along. But people are wanting to know what else is going to go in there. Do we have more information on what's going in yet?
There's been a lot of activity, a lot of interest, a lot of different inquiries. Unfortunately, we don't have any applications submitted to us for different businesses. The only ones that have come in are the Fry's and the McDonald's, which are both under construction right now. The Fry's also has two of their multi-tenant buildings that are going up, one on each side of the development. So that's where a lot of the inquiries are coming. There's been like a bank. There's been a couple of like food franchises that have reached out to us about wanting to go in there, talking permits and things like that, getting numbers, but not actually formally submitting anything. And then across the way by the Circle K there's also a lot of interest in those sites. And those are like your auto parts stores, a dental office wants to go in over there. And then there's a couple other inquiries that we've had, but nothing that's really indicated what the use would be there. Okay. Now, you've been doing this for a while, and you live right there in Gladden Farms, right near the shopping center there. And I'm sure, have heard the people asking for restaurants and the types of things they want. So what are you, Jason, going to allow to go in there?
Yeah. I wish I could pick out every one of the uses that would go in there.
It'd be kind of nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It's the zoning allows for a number of different things to go in there for retail services and restaurants and that. If it was my choice, I'd like to see a nice family sit down type restaurant, maybe like a Buffalo Wild Wings type or a sports bar or something like that.
Yeah.
Gladden Farms is predominantly families.
It sure is.
And a lot of young families. So those things that are like, even like a decent pizza place would be all right, just because after the kids are coming home at a late night of practice or choir or, concerts and things like that. A lot of these families, I think, would serve that business very well, as far as mom and dad don't want to cook late at night. Let's just stop and grab something real quick.
Right. People are jonesing for it. I absolutely hear you. And it was a couple of weeks ago when somebody asked me this very question, and she said, well, what are you guys going to allow in there? And I said, well, we really don't have that kind of power. I wish we did. Yeah. And she said, I don't believe that. So, I really hope, we've talked about this numerous times. You've made it very clear and articulated very well what the town can do and what we can't do. And certainly it's zoned for specific types of businesses, and anything that fits within those types of businesses are allowed to go in there. And we can't say yes or no to one over the other.
Yep. We can allow for the particular uses, but we can't pick who the end user is.
Yeah. So you can say it's a restaurant, but it could be McDonald's, which is already going in. Yeah. Right?
It could be fast food to sit down.
More than 7 billion served now. I don't know what they're up to, but they used to have that they don't have that on their signs anymore.
No, they don't.
Over certain numbers served. No. Okay. That's another
a whole different podcast. That's
whole different podcast. Kurt. With Kurt. Yeah. All right. Well, I think people are interested not only in what's just going on there at the Fry's, but there's a lot of development going on all around town. So it'd be great, I think, if you could maybe give our listeners just an update overall of what's going on, what's coming up out of the ground, what's on the horizon that hasn't quite started yet, or maybe they're moving dirt, but people don't. There's no sign there saying what it is. Yeah. What do we got going on?
Yeah. So, the last couple of weeks I've done a development update presentation to a number of different groups. Last week I was down at the Tucson Realtors Association giving them an update. And then on Friday I was over at the Senior Center doing a presentation on everything. But from commercial, if you stay on that Tangerine Gladden Farms corridor there, you head down and everyone's been asking what's going on with the Flint buildings, those big white distribution facilities that are there. We still do not have any tenants identified for that. We keep touching base with the Flint company and they say, oh yeah, we're working on a couple, but we haven't seen anything. So,
well, why did you allow them to build that if they weren't going to fill it, Jason?
Yeah, that's a market decision that they made. And somebody's paying rent or mortgage on those things. And, I'm sure they're not very happy with that decision either.
Yeah.
But
that's another question I've gotten to, by the way. So
yeah,
that's why I asked you.
Yeah. But right in front of that building, actually last week, we got a pre-app request from Shamrock Foods. They submitted their general site plan. They're looking to build a 242,000 square foot facility. It's predominantly cold storage for their food distribution, but then they do have office space with that as well. So they're looking to get moving on that. We're excited to have that pre-app later this week with them and their development team. And then as you move down by Roche or Ventana Medical, you've got the Mr. Car Wash that's going vertical right now. Starbucks and Ace Hardware just broke ground last week, and so they're moving there. Those two are located right in front of what is CTI, which recently had their grand opening maybe a couple of months ago, and is doing very well there. And then you've got the U-Haul that is pushing dirt between the frontage road and I-10 there.
Self-storage facility.
Yes.
Yeah.
So those will be moving in that general area as well.
Yeah. So it sounds to me like Fausto needs to get busy on widening Tangerine and fixing the interchange.
Yeah.
There's going to be some more traffic down there.
That's been the predominant question, the follow-up afterwards is what are we doing there? And I know, you know, we have plans that are moving forward to widen the underpass there to add additional lanes, and then also widening Tangerine Road all the way up to the water storage tank up there by the business park.
Yep, and those things are underway, and hopefully will be done in conjunction with some of these businesses coming online. So what else we got going on?
Well, staying with the commercial side, you go down by the outlet mall. American Furniture Warehouse is nearing completion. Their grand opening is
looking
scheduled.
good, man.
Yeah.
From where it started, I thought, oh my gosh, this is a monstrosity of a building. But it's gotten very attractive with the some of the things they've done on the exterior of it.
Yeah.
So.
I call it the modern day version of Up right there because Bill Luke looks like such a small little building.
Bill Luke's building looked like such a nice building when it went up there, a nice sized building, and now it's dwarfed. By American Warehouse Furniture.
So American Furniture is looking to open up the end of this month, actually. So they've got their grand opening scheduled.
So I heard, are they going to make it for Memorial Day, you think?
I believe so. I believe that's their target. Can't remember the exact date, but I did get an invite to go to that grand opening. So it is later this month. I want to say it's the 28th is what they're looking at.
I've been holding off buying some furniture until they open, so I hope they make it on Memorial Day. Yeah.
And then Bill Luke actually just reached out to us last week. They want to expand their parking lot. They want space for more vehicles to be there. They're doing very well.
There's no doubt that they're doing well, man. I see vehicles filled the parking lot, and then the next day I go by there, and like half of those vehicles are gone, and they're filled with completely different vehicles. Yeah. I don't know how they turn them over so quickly, but they're selling a lot of cars out of that place. Yeah,
and I believe that's part of the reason why Yanni's always smiling, our finance director.
It makes him happy, all those tax dollars being collected for the town. That's good.
So also around the mall, HSL is wrapping up their apartment project there, doing very well there. It's a beautiful facility.
Yeah.
And then the storage facility up there is about complete as well. That's a mixture of climate control storage as well as RV storage, all within an enclosed area, so very secure for the RV storage as well. And then Spring Hill Suites is the next hotel that would go right next to the emergency room, opposite of where the existing hotel is. Permits are ready to be pulled for them, so they could walk in any day and start that project. So we're excited to see that one go. Then we've got a number of other just freestanding lots there. 5, I believe, are remaining, mostly along the Tangerine corridor, but there's 1 or 2 that come up towards the mall next to the QT.
Tangerine or Twin Peaks?
I'm sorry, Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
Okay.
But I know you've had conversations with the mall development team, and myself and Kurt, our economic development director, has also had those conversations. Trying to encourage them, don't just sell out to that first fast food or franchise that comes in, try and bring some of those sit-down restaurants into that location as well. So
Yeah, I just talked to the developer actually, I think it was 2 weeks ago, just before I went on vacation. And he said they've got a lot of requests for fast food, but they're holding out at our request. So
good.
We do appreciate that. I mean, it would be really easy for them to sell those off to McDonald's and other fast food restaurants, and not knocking fast food restaurants, but that's we've got plenty of those.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah, so it'd be great to have some of those sit-down family-style restaurants there.
Yeah.
Gather your friends and head to the field for an evening of fun with Pickup Kickball. No need for formal teams or schedules, just show up, join in, and let the fun begin. Whether you're a seasoned pro or new to the game, Pickup Kickball is all about friendly competition and good times. So lace up your sneakers, channel your inner kid, and get ready to kick your way to victory. Register today at maranaaz.gov/recreation.
Don't let the heat of the moment catch you off guard. Northwest Fire District Public Education Team offers a range of programs including fire and life safety community education, fire extinguisher training, car seat inspections, babysitting programs, senior safety talks, engine demonstrations, and station tours. Your well-being is our priority. For more information, visit nwfdaz.gov or call us at 520-887-1010. Together, we can create a safer and more informed community.
Are you splash savvy? In the event of a home drowning, you are the first responder. We'll walk you through the steps so you can prevent further complications until help arrives. Learn more from first responders at maranaaz.gov/splash savvy. We are first responders against drowning, and we are splash savvy.
No word on the hospital, right?
No,
I mean, that's
no. TMC is predominantly the remaining land holder there, then 38 acres that they have. We keep in regular touch with them, but they've indicated to us that they're not ready to move yet.
Okay.
So
Good.
Other than that, it's really the residential side. You know, there's some other smaller commercial projects going on here or there throughout. I should back up the mayor's favorite project, the Dairy Queen has up
That's
in
right,
North Marana here.
man. There's a few little fast food places up by the Jack in the Box and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, so the Dairy Queen will go near the roundabout right in front of the multi-tenant space, which is where the dental office and the bank are. They haven't moved yet. They picked up their permit just a week or so ago, but they haven't mobilized yet.
Okay.
Then
so they've got a permit in hand ready to go.
Yeah, it'll be starting.
They could start moving ground at any day.
Yeah,
Okay.
it should start any day. Then Panda Express is broken ground right next to Dutch Brothers on the frontage road there. So that's moving along. I know some of our staff are excited about that. Someone in the manager's office actually used to work at one.
Yeah, yeah. I won't say Andrea's name because I know she doesn't like that. So, but yeah. So anything residential wise, commercial wise, in terms of apartments? I know it's been a long time with the apartments down there. The Alexander, I think it's called.
Yeah. Behind the Target.
Right. Yeah. It's really a beautiful looking complex. But what's been kind of the holdup there?
Well, they had some hangups with their developer Job Soup.
Okay.
Not really managing the project well, so things weren't ordered timely, and so weren't showing up to keep the flow of the project going. Then they had some material delays, things of that nature. So we were in constant contact with the developer on that when they had some hangups. How could we help them out as far as keeping the project moving and that? And so we kind of navigated that with them. But it's been a long, drawn out project. They know that. We know it. But it's got good momentum now, and it's moving along very nicely. It's starting to come together. The exteriors are going on. The paint is being applied. The interior is nearing completion. So it's really taking shape pretty good.
Another area that I get asked fairly regularly by residents about is the area over at Tangerine and I-10 on the northeast, Mandarina. People say, well, what is all that going on over there? Dug all these ditches and put in all this drainage infrastructure, but there's nothing else happening. What's kind of the update there?
Yeah, it looks like for 2 years it's just a couple of grown men just playing in the sandbox, right?
Great big bulldozers and front end loaders. Yeah. It's like every grown man's dream to be able to.
And then maybe just concrete a couple of drainage channels. So. But there was a ton of earthwork that needed to be done there, and that's when that's the primary collector of all the drainage that comes off of the fan. They really had to get that drainage in place before they could do anything. They've recently sold 2 blocks of the development to Meritage, and KB Homes and one other developer are in conversations trying to take down additional blocks. So I would say within probably the next 6 months, we will start to see homes going vertical there.
Okay.
There's a lot of residential that makes up that development. On the front side, as you're close to the Tangerine across from the Maverick there, that does allow for commercial development in there. So probably once the homes start to really build momentum, then we'll probably hear some conversations about commercial. But it'll also probably relate to the timing of that Tangerine Road being completed. No new business is going to want to open up right as the road goes under construction.
Very good. Very good. Anything else that we can think about that the listeners might want to know a little bit more?
Well, from the apartment project standpoint, we've got 8 apartments that are currently under construction in some form or fashion.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Jason?
It's a market-driven thing, so it's obviously there's a demand that's there for it. And if it's allowing for young families or new residents to come into the community, we're a growth-driven community. We're supportive of growth. It's starting to get to the point where I can see just by the inquiries from the developers that the apartments are slowly starting to fade off. So I think they kind of came in and realized maybe they oversaturated a little bit in certain areas. But there's a lot of them have gone down on the south side of the community. Mm-hmm. We talked about the Alexander, and then the Solstice is right next to that over by Target. But then you've got 3 apartments that are really between Crossroads Park and the Ina Silverbell corridor there. Mm-hmm. So that was quite it's like,
and they already had 2 there. Yeah, Cortero and Silverbell.
Yeah, so they
just added 2 additional.
They added about 800 units right there in that little area. Now, the Amazon facility is currently working to build out there, so that will be a fully operational distribution center going up there. So maybe
they're in there doing the TI right now.
Yep. They're doing the tenant improvements. So
there you heard it, folks. There's actually work being done on the inside to get it ready. You think they'll have it ready and operational by
their goal
the holiday shopping season?
Yeah, their goal is by the end of the summer to have it complete, up and running. Okay. I'm not sure if they're going to do the full 540 some fleet vehicles all at one shot, or if they'll do 200-300 to start and then roll them in over time. But from an apartment standpoint, the first apartment project in a long time, because we really only have the one up here, right across the street from us at the town hall here. But HSL's next project is going up in Gladden Farms right next to the fire station. So it'll be interesting to see how that one goes, just because it's the first apartment project really up in North Marana. And we don't have a lot of the amenities up here like you do in other parts of the community that typically are surrounding apartment uses. So,
well, hopefully that'll prompt some people to plant their flag with restaurants and shops and other various things. Yeah. Very good.
But residential is going very strong.
Okay.
We're averaging about 120 single family home permits still.
And those are strong numbers.
Those are
very strong numbers.
Yeah. I think this month we are at 85 already.
Wow.
Yeah.
Halfway through. Not even halfway through.
Not even halfway through. This could be our strongest month to date.
Wow.
For probably the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. Gladden Farms is going to be built out here probably within the next 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
All of the lots have been sold to the builders, so now it's just a matter of go. And they're going as quick as they can, as fast as they can.
it's been a change though in how housing is being done now. You know, a lot of these builders used to have the showrooms where you could go in and pick out all your finishes. This tile, that carpet, these cabinets, that countertop.
No more, huh?
No more. Most of them are just going to spec build, or even if you do have options, it's probably you get package A or package B.
Okay. These are your choices.
Most of
Take them or leave them.
Yeah. So
I always like that on a test. You know, true or false.
Yeah.
I had a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
I was pretty good at those.
Yeah.
Half the time I got them right. So
yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the rental communities. What are you hearing back on those?
Yeah, so American Homes for Rent, Linda Vista is the one that's been going the longest, or for a good period of time, right up by the outlet mall there. They're doing very well. You know, we were a little not nervous, but curious how that was going to go, because it was the first rental community going up in Marana.
Right.
And hesitant and like, are these all going to just look like a cookie cutter development? Yeah. But they did a great job mixing up the units in there.
I agree with you.
Beautiful exteriors on the buildings, variations in architectural design and that. So it looks good. I don't know how people are paying rents for some of those homes, because they're like $2,800 a month and up. But they're filling up fast, and they were into us just a month or so ago, wanting to start to set up the discussions to move the development on the south side of Linda Vista as well.
And that area is actually going to be a little bit larger than the one in the north, right?
Yeah, it's a total of 400 units that'll be built out when the whole development is done. The north side of Linda Vista is about 120 some units there. Predominant portion of the development is on the south side. So you'll see more there.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Anything going on development-wise other than Mandarina we talked about up in North Marana here?
You've got Stonegate is just north of Mandarina. They're working through some of their platting to get that going.
Okay.
That's a large residential and multifamily development predominantly there. So it'll be a couple of years before they were to actually do anything if they keep progressing through platting and that. And then you got the Villages of Tortolita, or Villages, that is north of San Lucas, that is going through some platting and having other conversations with us there. And then over on the west side of I-10, west of downtown area, kind of along Marana Road, and that there's a number of different developments like the Ranch House, the Uptown, and Town Center, Susie Ong's property, that have been in a lot of conversations with us. So there's definitely some activity there. Full detail.
Lots of talking and discussion, but nothing solid yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And depending upon what the development, because there's a mixture of different uses in that area. It's not just all residential. So depending upon what actually they have in mind or what project they want to move forward, it could be something that moves quickly. But it's the residential side that if they went straight single family homes, those take a little bit longer just because of the platting and then all the drainage work that has to be done there.
Gotcha. So I'm going to shift gears here for just a second. I don't know how much we can talk about this, but I think we can give a little glimpse perhaps. So we got this great community center, aquatic center. It's coming out of the ground. It's taking shape, really starting to look neat. But downtown Marana, what are we doing with downtown? Anything moving on that?
Well, we actually just put out an RFP on that.
What in the world is an RFP? Jason?
Request for proposals.
Oh, there we go.
Good call.
Yeah.
I like to talk in acronyms, right? So request for proposals for any interested developer that would like to be partnering with the town, where we would be leasing the property for an extended period of time to them to be determined through this process, where we would like them to help us create a unique destination-driven downtown, where we could partner as the town and make the investments in some of the infrastructure and kind of share in the typical development costs, but they would help to deliver the actual
product, the restaurants, the hotels, whatever type of attractions that are going to put Marana on the map, so that when somebody comes to visit grandma and grandpa or whoever that may be, their family in Arizona, even if you're up in Phoenix Valley area,
right?
They say, you know what, we got to take a day trip. We're going down to Marana. You got to see this place. That's
Jason,
what we want.
Jason, you're singing the song I love to hear, man. The things that you're talking about there about destination, unique, distinct. I love that. And I hope the town can pull it off, because this sounds like an amazing opportunity to be able to build a downtown from the ground up.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive, but it's not a light lift, is it?
No, by no means. It's you got to find the right developer that's willing to take that type of a risk, but it has also demonstrated their past that they've been able to deliver something. The last thing we as a community, as a town, need to do is go and make a significant investment in something that is just fails from the very beginning.
Yeah. Or something that you can get just any place.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
exactly.
If you can get it 5 miles down the road, what's going to make you come down here, right? So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be an amazing thing. Hopefully, as we move down this track, and I think we're getting close to getting that RFP, request for proposal, out to the public so that we can get some bids on that, get somebody selected. And I think once we do, we might have to have you along with the developer in the room talking about what this is going to look like. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Fantastic. Anything else you can think of, Jason, that our listeners need to hear about?
So if you go to maranaaz.gov and under services, the drop down there, you will see development projects and activities dashboard there. And that will open up everything there. You can click through everything. You can see the number of permits that we've done in each different category over a period of 12 months. You can look at business licenses. You can look, we're trying to throw out everything that we possibly look through in our department on that page.
Thank you, Jason, for joining us once again to inform our listeners on the things that are going up here in the town of Marana. Greatly appreciate it. Always love having you on the show. And listeners, can keep having those questions come into us. We love hearing from you and love answering your questions. Thanks so much. Until next time.
Submit your questions by visiting maranaaz.gov/realtalk and we'll answer them right here. To receive notifications for new releases, remember to click subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Also, please follow the town on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date on current news and events.